가시나야 니는 어디서 왔노 까리봉사만해 지금 어디로 가노 니는 몇 살이고 니가 내보다 누나야가 아이라고 극함네 까마 오바야네 쌀쌀하네 얼굴이 조막디 해가리하네 살아다가 칠수그럽게 생긴 갖고 좀에 반반하네 밤문나 까내기 치는 거 아니다 커피나 한 사발이 땡기가 커피는 게 안나
예쁜 코 다 겁나게 이뻐 바라만 보고 있어도 그냥 내가 다 기뻐 아 근데 니는 어디서 왔거든 이쁘장하게 생겨갖고 큐피드 화살로 내 맘을 꼭 찌거리 부터 곱다 고와 너는 남존네들이 봐도 질러버려 고와 누가 낚아채기 전에 얼른 들이대 손 봐버려야지 확 그냥 내가 먼저 깨물어버려야지
어디에서 왔는지 네 이름을 써있는지 난 너무나도 궁금해 나 정말 너무 궁금해 너 어디에서 왔는지 네 이름 알 수 있는지 나 너무나도 궁금해 나 정말 너무 궁금해 나는 부산에서 너는 광주에서 왔지만 똑같아 우리 여기 서울에도 저기 제주도에도 다 사랑을 하잖아 oh yeah
고마 좀 튕기라 궁디를 주차 보기 전에 짱나게 하지 마라 좀 내 맘 바꾸기 전에 저만 그냥 올라다니 그 말 때문에 이 가난에 놔두고 걷다 좋다하니까 내 안쓰나나 장난똥 때리나 눈빛나 호석이 같은 모습만한 천지 빛깔이다 세리빛다 아정 그만은 집이 모른다 내 맘 이제 다 니끼다 난니빛 모른다
다시 나 나한테 하는 짓 보소 지금 나한테 하는 짓들이 심상치 않아 요거 너 자꾸 그러면 나 얼떨떨 심장이 벌벌 손이 덜덜 숨이 칵칵 시방 지금 날 좋아해 거시기 해 지금 네 마음은 온통 다 호시기 해 아따 그래도 전라도 남자가 끌리긴 한갑다 아 맞다 근데 너 어디서 왔다냐
너 어디에서 왔는지 네 이름 알 수 있는지 난 너무나도 궁금해 난 정말 너무 궁금해 너 어디에서 왔는지 너 이름 알 수 있는지 난 너무나도 궁금해 나 정말 너무 궁금해 네가 달했어 아니면 별했어 어따 해도 난 상관없어 넌 나와 같은 girl 넌 멋진 여자야 나도 꽤 멋진 남자야 사랑할 수밖에 없는 거잖아 Yeah I'm falling in love 어디에서 왔는지 이름 알 수 있는지 난 너무나도 궁금해 나 정말 너무 궁금해 너 어디에서 왔는지 이름 알 수 있는지 난 너무나도 궁금해 나 정말 너무 궁금해 난 부산에서 너는 광주에서 왔지만 똑같아 우리 여기 서울에도 저기 제주도에도 다 사랑을 하잖아 oh yeah oh yeah
Hello, everyone, and we are back with this week's ARMY review, where we are continuing our journey with Skool Luv Affair. So, the two tracks that we're going to be talking about today are Where You From and Just One Day. I think this is our second part for Skool Luv Affair. So, how are you feeling about this album so far?
I think it's so cute. I think it's a very telling look at young love. And like all the frustrations and struggles of like being into someone and being obsessed and then realizing they don't like you back, or they're like, or you're getting mixed signals and you can't tell if they like you or if they don't like you, and you're like, or they like someone else. So it's like very nostalgic and cringy a little bit, thinking of like my own time being younger and like feeling like this. And I'm like, I guess everyone goes through these feelings.
Yeah, I completely agree. You've got a bit of everything in here as well, haven't you? Like all the different types of feelings you get from young love. Yeah, and it does just remind me of when I was a teenager and you thought you knew everything about love and you couldn't control your emotions about anything. And yeah, it's cute. Okay, so let's get into
Billy,
this first
where are
song.
you from? Where are you from, girl?
Well, I'm from England. Where are you from?
Oh, I don't like that question because
You're from many places.
I am, and I never want to list them all out because then I have to
Yeah.
launch into like a background. But we'll just say that.
And then you sound like a bit. Then you sound a bit like, oh, well, you know, I'm so like cultured
I'm
and like
so
from
cultured
everywhere.
and worldly. No, mostly
Yeah.
I feel homeless. Or like the question, like, what's your hometown?
Mhm.
I'm like, I don't know. I have several. I have none.
Mhm.
I don't know. I'm fucking homeless.
Yeah.
Anyway, where are you from, girl? So.
That, oh my God, when you just said it like that, it really is like a catcalling line, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
hey, where you from?
Yeah, and that's what this song is.
Yeah, to be fair, like that's quite a lot of my comments is like, this is such a typical guy line.
Yeah, so just to give like an overview of what this song is, essentially it's BTS taking turns trying to get a girl's attention and trying to woo her and get her interest by asking like, where are you from? And then we shall explore exactly what they say in a minute.
Oh, you've raised a good point now that I can't stop thinking about. I hope this isn't a form of street harassment.
No, I'm sure it was very polite.
No, please don't just be following a girl down the street like, hey, where you from? Like, where you going now? You want to go get coffee? Like, and this girl's just like, please stop following me.
Yeah. Or you'd have someone like me who'd be having an existential crisis if you got asked that question. Be walking down the street with like a cloud over your head. I don't know how to answer this. Don't ask me this.
Okay, let's get started on these lyrics. So, as you can see from the very first few lines that I've just read out for you, this girl, where are you from? You look pretty and chic. Where are you going now? How old are you? Are you a Nuna to me? Oh, you're not? Then I'm an offer to you. And I've mentioned this. We will watch this video at the end, but there was a video that I came across during my journey through all of BTS content, and basically they're all saying lines from this song, and Jimin says this line, and it's so cute and like also just so flirty. And yeah, we'll watch it at the end. But
yeah, I just want to make like a side note that in Korean culture, age is, from what I understand, age is very important because it denotes kind of like rank in a social setting. And how you're supposed to address one another and how you conjugate your
it's
titles.
Usually like the first question you ask, or the second, like, what's your name? And then how old are you? Or what year were you born?
Yeah, and the thing is like that's such a like turnabout from most Western cultures because age is something you don't ask people. It's
taboo, yeah.
Yeah, it's not polite because you're like prying. And I also don't really know where that comes from in Western culture.
It's because when you get older, you're considered to have less value, well, particularly if you're a woman. So like people don't like to reveal their ages, and they think it's rude if people ask for your age because it's something that you try to hide. Like it's something that you, it's almost like your shadow, isn't it? Like the thing that you don't want to put out to the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just it's interesting how like, even in this song, they're like, oh, how old are you? Okay. Oh, are you older than me? No, you're younger than me? Then we should definitely date.
Yeah, it's like, oh, I can be in charge, then you have to look up to me. You've raised a really good point actually, that if you think about it, there isn't that problem, I guess, in Korean culture, because you, by asking somebody's name and you being the older one, you are then considered to be more respected. So like they've kind of bridged that taboo of getting older and not having as much value as you get older, because young people are considered like, oh, they're so cute and young and energetic, and then older people is like, oh, they're so wise and should be respected. So they kind of have completely like bridged that,
I guess. But I think it might impact how people interact with each. I don't know.
Oh, no, I completely agree with that. But yeah, anyway. So the next thing I want to say, so this line, your face is small and pretty. Did you know that this is actually a Korean beauty standard?
What is?
Your face being small.
Like your overall face, or having like a face and then your facial features being small in it?
Yeah, like your facial features are small. Like when you have small facial features. Because I've
Like it's like doll-like, I think.
yeah, doll-like. And the amount of times I've seen now on Korean shows where it's like, wow, their face is so small. They've got such a small face. And that's really interesting to me that that's like a thing that people notice. I feel like Korean people are so much more observant of like features, and because like things like the fact that they'll pick up on the fact that their face is more puffy one day to the next. Like I think we've talked about this before.
Yeah.
Like I don't pick up on changes like that, or
Yeah.
if I look at somebody else, like I really don't pay attention to see if they've got like, unless it's very obvious.
Well, I think that's also cultural, because in Korean culture, you can make comments criticizing other people's appearances, I believe, and it's socially acceptable, or at least more acceptable than it would be in the West.
Well, I think it's seen as you helping. So like if you're saying, oh, you should lose some weight, like I think it's seen as something that is like helpful and like a nice comment to make.
Yeah, versus in the West, that would be like, how dare you tell me what to do?
Yeah.
How dare you criticize me?
Yeah.
And you know, like the usual rule is like, don't say any criticism unless it's something that someone can change in like 10 minutes, because otherwise you're just making them feel bad about themselves.
And as always, like I am not an expert, so please call me out if I'm wrong.
Yeah. Yeah. Love the next line. You look refreshing like a salad. Yum. Yum.
Yummy.
Very helpful.
And then this was the line I highlighted that was like classic guy move. Did you eat? I'm not hitting on you. Oh, I'm not hitting on you, by the way. It's like you're blatantly hitting on me, but then you're gonna be like, I'm not hitting on you.
I'm just asking. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I'm just wondering. Like, I'm not interested though. Like, I love you, but I'm not hitting on you.
And I like the like sense of nervousness in these comments. Like, did you eat? I'm not hitting on you. Should we go get coffee? Are you okay with coffee?
Yeah, like, is that okay? I need reassurance that like I'm doing okay, that I'm doing a good job. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I just loved this line that was like, just looking at you makes me happy.
Aww.
How cute. And then they're like, oh, but where are you from? See, why are they so obsessed with where this person is from?
So, you know, as we keep going in the song, they start pointing out that like, oh, you must be from this province or that province, or you must be from here or there. I think for them, what I get out of the song is that there's a cultural divide based on what region you're from.
Regions, yeah.
And that's why, like, in their song, Paul de Gangsan, they like Namjoon raps at the end, like, it doesn't matter what part of Korea you're from, we're all under the same sky, we should be more unified. And so maybe this song is like in that same vein of like, oh, you're from somewhere else, from another region, maybe that's why you don't like me. And
oh yeah, it definitely is, because when we get to the chorus, it's a very similar message to Powder Gansan. But I'm just thinking in more general terms, like if you're meeting with somebody and you're just like, oh, but where are you from? Where are you from? Oh, where are you from again? Like, I'm wondering if that's another common question to ask in Korean culture, is like, you ask the age, you ask where they're from. Like, I'm just curious
maybe
about that.
If we have any Korean watchers, could anyone clarify for us, please?
Please do.
I do not know how to translate this line. I'm just gonna pretend it's not there.
And the end one.
Also gonna pretend this isn't here.
Yeah.
Anyway, I also wanted to say, like, this is such a like a, I don't know, like a young love thing to say, like the jealousy of like, oh, I like you. I need to like have you before somebody else steals you. Yeah.
Yeah. The thing I wanted to say is like, Hobie has a very different style in this song. Like, it's almost like he's talking. Like, he has a very laid back and talking vibe, and he adds in like certain tones and intonations to his voice. Like, if something's really cute, it's like, and that's so cute. Like, he adds little things like that, or like little references with his voice to like, I can't think of what I'm trying to say, but like he repeats certain lines, like, and at the end of this he does the same type of thing. But it's just, I've not heard him like that. I don't think in any other song.
So correct me if I'm wrong, but the way I interpreted the song is that's supposed to be kind of like a role play between Yoongi and Hobie, where Yoongi and Hobie are both trying to get the same girl, but they're coming from different culture, like from different regions based on their background, right? Because Hobie's from Gwangju, and
I think so as well.
Yeah, and Yoongi's from Daegu. So yeah.
And then Namjoon just kind of comes in and like
Namjoon
and brings it all
sings.
together again. I know, we'll get there. But like it is kind of a similar thing to Powder Gansan again, isn't it? I wonder if because they like had so much fun and got so much success with that song, they wanted to kind of make a follow-up to it with And This Is It, because it's kind of the same thing, like the warring between the guy from I can't remember what the provinces were now, but like two different regions, and then Namjoon coming together to just be like, hey, we're all together.
Wait.
Great.
I have this for you. Here it is.
Oh, nice. Okay, so yeah, we have. Oh, this doesn't have the name of the provinces on there.
Which province? Yes, it does. In like the light color. Listen, I don't know what we're looking at here.
No, because it like so Hobie is from the orange circle and Yoongi is from the purple circle.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know what the names of those regions are off the
Aren't
top of
they
my head.
this? I don't know. Let's just continue with the song.
Yeah, anyway.
Right.
But yeah.
I love the chorus. The chorus is just like, I'm curious. I'm really, really curious. I'm so curious.
I need to know where you're from. I'm really curious about it.
And then this is what we were talking about. That they're like, I'm from Busan, you're from Gwangju, we're the same. Here in Seoul, they're in Jeju Island. And just to show where this is to anyone who doesn't know, here's where is it? Here's Busan, here's Gwangju, here's Seoul, and here's Jeju Island. So they're like north, south, east, west. Like no matter where you're from.
To the bottom, we're all the same. We all love the same.
And that's why you should go out with me.
Yeah, and so, yeah, it is very, very similar to Powder Gansan in a lot of ways, but this is just kind of done from a framework of love rather than friendship or yeah.
Then I like this line. Stop playing hard to get before I kick you in the butt. It's just like a reference to some guy from a popular comedy show who used to say that, but it's kind of like a do it before you get in trouble.
Yeah. And again, I watched this video that we'll show you at the end without context, like because I'd not read the lyrics of this song yet. So like when you watch it, Tay says this line, like, stop playing hard to get before I kick you in the butt, and it's so quick, it like literally just shoots to him, and then like 4 seconds it's over, and then it just moves on, and he doesn't show any facial expression. And I was just so confused when I first watched it. I was like, what? It made no sense to me. Okay, so this is when they're kind of like picking on each other. They're like, well, Yoongi's picking on Hobie, and he's like, that guy's just a baby, like what the hell?
Yeah, because it's Yoongi right now, right? He's rapping. Yeah. He's talking to the girl, and he's like, why are you trying to go for Hobie? He's just a baby. Are you acting like this because of him? And the reason we know it's Hobie is because he has this line here.
I know, it's so funny. It's such a dig. And it's also very not true.
Yeah. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you blind?
I loved that line, though. Like, what is wrong with you? Have you seen me? Like, are you crazy?
It's so relatable.
Yeah.
And then at the bottom, he's just like, my heart is all yours now. I only know you.
Oh, yeah, but before that, he says, hey, listen, that guy only knows himself, but my heart is all yours. Yeah. So, like, he's selfish, I'm attentive. Which one are you going to pick?
Yeah, I love how it's the whole thing of, like, a young guy in love or infatuated who's just throwing himself at the girl. Like, you only need me. What are you doing? Yeah.
Like, what is wrong with you? And why would you like him? Have you seen me? And then just feeling like really like full of pride about the fact that you have to prove that you're better and this person is worse.
And then I think here is where they switch to Hobie, right? She's like, look at what this girl is doing to me.
And then, yeah, this bit when it's like, wait, do you like me now? Are you feeling it? Is your heart full of Hosok Gosok now? And then he's like, oh, you're attracted to guys from Jolla. That's the one.
Oh, is that where his region?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just funny. He's like, oh, I'm winning.
Oh, right. But where are you from?
Yeah.
This girl's being very mysterious. Love it.
Yoongi.
Yeah, he's like, come on, I'm better. And then the chorus again. And then
we've got beautiful Namjoon singing, and I just love it when Namjoon sings. Don't you think that Namjoon just has such a beautiful voice?
Yes.
Like how raspy and husky and like
I even like in the beginning there was like he used auto-tune a lot less and he would just leave his voice and its rawness and him like being off key in the songs and I really like that because it was just very like you could feel like it's someone you were actually friends with or dating
just
with
next
like
to you singing.
and it's very like intimate.
Yeah, I agree. And I think his singing voice is so beautiful. And I tend to like really enjoy a deeper voice. That's why Tae's voice is my favorite because it's so like husky and warm. And it's the same with Namjoon's voice when he sings. I love that sound.
Yeah.
And yeah, so Namjoon says
I was gonna say, I like the line, "You're a cool woman. I'm also a pretty cool man."
Yeah,
we deserve
like,
to be together.
Self-confidence. But yeah, this is where Namjoon brings it all together and he's like, even if you're from the moon or the star, I don't care. You're the same. You're cool, I'm cool. We're meant to be in love. So yeah, he's just bringing everyone together again. It doesn't matter where we're from. We're both cool. So let's be together.
And then they end it with the whole thing. Though I'm from Busan and you're from Gwangju, we're the same. Here in Seoul, they're in Jeju Island. People all love.
Yeah, so it's just, let's all love and date and we're all the same.
End goal. Let's date.
Yeah.
All right. Shall we move on to the next song?
Yes.
Yeah. Just one day, one night. That's all I ever want.
하루만 내게 시간이 있다면 달콤한 네 향기에 취해서 고뇌난 잠들고파 빡빡한 스케줄 사이에 기회가 있다면 따스하고 깊은 눈 안에 몸 담그고파 I like that 너의 그 길고 긴 생머리 올려 묶을 때의 아찔한 목숨과 흘러내린 잔머리 서로 같이 어딜 가던 내 핸드백은 네 허리 You're my honey 볼 때마다 숨이 막혀 명동거리처럼 우리의 BGM은 숨소리 내 이름을 불러줄 때의 네 목소리에 잠겨서 난 수영하고파 너를 좀 더 알고파 너란 미지에서 불깊이 몸하는 탐험가 너란 작품에 대해 감상을 해 너란 존재가 예술이니까 이렇게 매일 난 밤새도록 상상을 해 어차피 내게는 무의미한 꿈이니까
그만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 그만 너와 내가 손잡을 수 있다면 그만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면
그럴 수 있다면 얼마나 좋을까 아무 데 나가서 밥 먹고 영화 한 편만 볼 수만 있다면 나란해 정말 뭔 짓이라도 할 텐데 girl I'm sorry 내 머리가 너무 이성적인가 봐 그래도 언젠가 보면 웃어줘 조금은 아니 어쩌면 많이 날 원망하겠지 알아 내 꿈 때문에 널 더 바라보지 못해서 그럼 내게 하루만 줘 꿈속이라도 하루만 현실을 핑계대며 삼켜야 했던 그 수많은 말 중에서 딱 한마디만 제대로 할 수 있게 그래 나팔꽃이 필 때만 나 헤어지자 꽃이 질 때 쉽게 잊어질 거라 생각 안 했지만 너에게 난 그랬으면 좋겠다면 내 기적일까 널 위해서라며 아직 난 거짓말하고 있어 넌 내 한가운데 서 있어
그만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 그만 너와 내가 손잡을 수 있다면 그만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면
Hey 너와 내가 함께 하고 있다면 Let's go 24 hours 너와 단둘에 있다면 아침부터 입맞춤해 빠질 수 없는 브런치도 한입해 손잡고 너와 햇빛에 몸 담그네 안 끝내 아름다운 밤중에 너에게 고백해 조명은 달루해 수많은 일들이 내게 말을 해
단 하루만 있으면 가능해 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 너와 내가 손잡을 수 있다면 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 너와 하루에 있기를 바래 수 있다면 하루만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면 하루만 너와 내가 함께 할 수 있다면
Can you please stay with me?
Okay, so we're moving on to Just One Day, and this one's quite popular, I think. Like most people know this one really well and have listened to it a lot, and they perform it quite a lot. They usually like pair it with I Like It because they both have a very similar vibe. They're very like low, laid back, chilled R&B 2000s type tracks. And I love them. I love both of them. They're like definitely my vibe. It reminds me of the type of music I would listen to when I was a kid, like when you had all the like Chris Brown type of like
I'm thinking like
excuse
early
me, miss.
like early 2000s.
Yeah,
it's very nostalgic.
It is very nostalgic. And the other thing that I wanted to say was just I love this choreo with all the chairs. Isn't it so adorable? And I love it. And I love all the bits where like they move from one side of the stage, like, and all of the people on the chairs move, and then somebody like jumps up from the other side, and it's so cute. I think the choreo is so clever, and
I feel like this is the only choreo they have with chairs, right?
Yeah.
I think Sung Son-duk really stretched himself with this, and I think it paid off. It's like it's so fun to watch.
And it fits the vibe of the song so well, just very like cheeky and innocent and playful, and also like soft and endearing. And the other thing is like the harmonies behind the rap parts that JK does throughout this song is like literally honey. Like it sounds so amazing. And when we got it recently on Bang Bang Con the Live and he was doing all his harmonies in his ad-libs, I love it when they do that. I've said it before. I just love it when they add those vocal elements to the rap lines, and it just sounds so nice.
You know, so like we're going through their old stuff, right? And we like I really love Jungkook's voice in all of these songs.
Yes.
And then in Burn the Stage, when we have the like behind interviews with all of them, Jungkook says that like there was a point where Jimin got mad at him and was like, you need to work on your voice harder. You can't just like rest on your laurels. And like there's so much more you could be doing. And hearing how great this music and how great his singing was here, I'm just like impressed that Jimin was so asked to be like, I know there's more in you. I know you can be even better.
I can't remember that part of Burn Stage. I'll have to rewatch it because I can't remember. It kind of rings a bell. I remember that JK just didn't like taking singing lessons. Like he was kind of just like, oh, my voice is fine. I don't want to take singing lessons because I find them boring. Because especially like in American Hustle Life, when he had that singing lesson and he was like, I actually really, really enjoyed it. And like he had a really nice time with the singing lesson. And I think he just didn't like it. And to be honest, I think JK's voice has consistently been a high standard from day one. You can see the change in his voice today, but it still has the bass elements of
I think
voice
there are
and his
just
tone.
There's techniques that he didn't know in the beginning, and those techniques allow him to sing and make even more beautiful sounds with his voice that he otherwise he wouldn't have that in his repertoire. He would only have like the basic skills he has if he hadn't committed to like you know, buckling down and learning for real.
Yeah, because there's things that you have just natural talent for, and then there's things that you can like use to improve your talent, which is technical. And I think JK has said, I think it was recently actually, it might have been in Break the Silence, when he said like that he's naturally good at pretty much anything that he starts, but like he feels like he's never like gonna be like great at it. And if he's not immediately like picking up on something that or like improving on something,
he loses
then
interest.
He just isn't interested. Like he just wants to move on to the next thing. And I feel like with his voice, he was just so naturally gifted, and his voice is so beautiful even here that he's just like, oh, it's fine. I don't need to work on it more.
But I'm glad
yeah,
you did.
his voice is so beautiful. I love it.
So speaking of that, who starts off this song?
Yoongi, of course. It's so bloody romantic and
just
like,
for one day.
poetic.
So overview of the song. It's a song about wishing you had one day to do what you wanted, to be with the person you love, that you care about, and just like a day free of responsibility.
And my speculation is like this probably came from something that they felt themselves, maybe that they were writing from experience of their trainee time when they just didn't have time to be with the girl that they liked, and they were like, oh, I wish that like I had time outside of everything to just spend one day with you, and what would I do if I could spend one day with you?
You know, the later half of the song has some lyrics in it that actually make me speculate about this, but we'll get to them. Okay, so of course, in typical Yoongi fashion, if I had the time, I would sleep like a baby.
Oh yeah, I see what you did there. But yeah, he's just always so romantic. Like, I would like to lay myself in your warm, deep eyes. And he's like, your breathtaking neck. And the other bit that I really liked is, I'd like to get submerged and swim. I'd like to know you more. I'm an adventurer who explores in depth, a mysterious forest that is you. Like, how poetic.
There it is. His whole like verse is so poetic. It's so beautiful. It's so full of imagery of stuff you do when you know, if you had a day free, you'd want to be an adventurer, you'd want to go for a swim, you know, you'd want to go.
It's got a lot of like what's the bloody word? Why can't I think of it now? Metaphors. I am a literature major. Metaphors, but also
similes.
No,
I'm throwing things out here.
What's the thing where you like paint a picture with your words?
Imagery, visualization.
Imagery. I guess. Yeah, it's got a lot of imagery in it, and it's got like it's got a lot of describing in depth and in poetic detail, like what something, like with loads of adjectives and all of that type of thing.
Yeah, like all of this. It's just breathless like the streets of Myeongdong.
Oh yeah, I wanted to talk about that actually, because this line actually made me really sad. Like, so he says, every time I see you, I get breathless like the streets of Myeongdong. And then apparently this is like usually very crowded. And as somebody who also has like a difficult time with crowds, and I know that Yoongi gets really like anxious and scared in crowds, I was like, that's so fucking sad. Like, the fact that he's used that as a metaphor, like the fact that like he gets really afraid in crowds, I was like, oh,
I didn't read it like that. I read it as he's full of anxiety and his heart's beating, and he just like it's the anticipation of something unknown and like a little bit dangerous, but full of like exciting things.
Maybe.
But I also agree with you that he is afraid of he's told us many times that he's afraid of crowded places. So maybe it's a bit of both.
Yeah, I think I just related to it as well, because like I also don't like crowds. So yeah. I just was like, oh.
So then the chorus, which is beautiful. Their voices are like honey, velvet on the ears. It's just And the music video for this reflects it. It's like a very pastel colors, them in chairs.
It's
with,
so simplistic.
Yeah, against like a white wall and shadows. It's so nice. It's so smooth. And then who's this verse?
Oh yeah, this is the bit where sometimes Tae sings it, but then sometimes Namjoon sings it, and I think the actual audio version of it is both of their voices.
Oh, interesting.
So this is the bit that's like that bit.
Yeah.
And in the music video, it's Tae that sings it. But yeah.
I have to go back and re-listen to this. Yeah, I'm sorry, but yeah, my brain is being too rational. That's totally it's like overthinking. Okay, so here's this part that I wanted to talk about.
Yes.
So he's directing his comments towards a girl. I would do anything to make it happen, girl. I'm sorry, maybe my brain is being too rational, but when you see me someday, please smile at me a bit, or maybe a lot. You'll resent me. I know, since I wasn't able to look at you anymore because of my dream, all these words that I had to swallow, blaming the reality so that I can say even just one word right among them. So what I get from this is he's like referencing and implying that he had a relationship or the beginnings of one with someone before they debuted. And then he had to end it because he needed to pursue his dream of being an artist. And so he's like, you resent me for doing that. I still have fond memories of us together. So
I wonder how those people feel now. Like, it's been so many years. Like, and I don't know about you, but like relationships I had when I was like 14, 15, even for me now, like I don't even really think about much anymore. But I wonder how those people feel like now, 10 years later or so.
Well, this is with the assumption that they have stayed apart. Who knows? Maybe they did get back together and we just don't know about it.
True. Very true.
But in the circumstance that they never saw each other again, you know, like you break up with someone and it's like tough, and then you move on and you never hear about them ever again, and that's how you move on. Well, in this case, if you had a relationship with somebody in Korea and they were Korean and they still live there, then I think BTS is just always on the news. They're always being talked about. You would never be able to escape your ex. You'd be like, I fucking hate this.
Yeah, I suppose it depends on like how serious the relationship was, because like it might just be one of those like, oh yeah, did you know that I dated him in like high school? But or it could be something that was like really meaningful, and then you're just like, oh, I have to see their face everywhere.
Yep.
Also, this next line is so beautiful.
This one?
Let's meet when morning glories bloom and part when they wither. And morning glories bloom in the morning and fade in the later afternoon. And they bloom once and die in the same day, living just for one day.
That's so fleeting. It's more imagery. That's just beautiful.
Yeah.
And then see, I think this is why, like, my theory that it was an old relationship is real, because then he goes, I didn't think it would be easily forgotten, but if I want you to forget me easily, would it be that I'm selfish? I'm still lying, saying that it's for you. You're standing in the center of my heart. So I feel like this is it depends on how you interpret this translation. So I feel like I'm missing some of the puzzle pieces because I don't speak Korean, but it could either be that he's saying, I don't want you to forget me because I'm selfish. You know, like we just said that when you break up with someone, you kind of want to forget them and move on if it didn't work out. But he's like, I don't want you to forget me because I haven't forgotten you. Or maybe, so it's either that, or if you interpret these English translations a different way, it could be him saying, I keep pretending that I'm still doing this for you, but that's not true. Like, I'm pursuing my dream. So even if I say you're standing in the center of my heart, I'm lying.
Yeah, so the way I've interpreted this would be like, maybe he's done something like ignored her to try to get her to forget about him so that he can focus on his dream. I'm lying saying I'm doing it for you because you're still there, like at the center of my heart.
Yeah, and it's like it feels a little bit darker than just like I still think about you fondly. It seems more of a, I know we broke up. I know I'm focusing on my dream, but I still want you to remember me. And in my fantasy, if I had just one day, I'd go spend it with you.
Yeah. Yeah, I feel like there's more to it. But yeah, it's very interesting to think about.
Yeah. And then the chorus again, which is very sweet. The music video is lovely.
I love the music video and in the choreo where JK gets up and does that little spin and then like the little walk on his arm that like then turns into a butterfly.
Yeah. It's such a gentle metaphor, like that whole video. It's so nice to watch. It's so pleasant. For your ears, for your eyes. Love it. Okay, who's this part? Is this Hobie?
This is Hobie, yeah, because it's the 24 hours now done.
Yeah.
That bit.
He's like, I'll kiss you in the morning and then we'll go to brunch.
Yeah, I just love the bit that he's like, let's go time. And it's like, okay, we're starting now. Like 3, 2, 1, go. That's what it feels like.
Like he's like, yeah, we have 24 hours. We're gonna get the most out of them. I have it all planned out.
I love how structured and organized Hobie always is. It's like, okay, all the others have been like, oh, I would sit and look at you like in my dreams. You're such an art piece. Or I would tell you all the things I regret. And Hobie's like, right, in the morning, you get up at 8 o'clock. We go out and we have brunch.
Yeah. We're gonna hold hands all day. Okay, and then I like his all of his verses are tied to like the time of day. I'll lay myself under the sun with you. I won't let it end at a beautiful night. I'd confess my love to you, and I'd have the moon as the lighting. How romantic.
Yeah.
With
really
just one day.
Planned out all of his hours in terms of like the sun and the moon and
set your alarm.
And then it's like all these things tell me with just one day it's possible. So he's like, I don't need anything else. I just need this one day. I need these 24 hours. I'll use them to the best of my ability and I can get in everything I need to do.
Yep. It's very reflective of his personality.
Yeah.
And then, is this the end of this? Okay, no, right here, like the last time they sing the chorus, there's so much longing in it because like the music changes. I think the like percussion kind of
slower.
Yeah, the percussion kind of goes away, and it's more of a like
bearer,
like if I just had this one day, I would make it the best day ever. I would make it work. And
Oh my god! And then the Namjoon's line like breaks my
in
heart.
his in like a broken voice.
Yeah, it's like his voice breaks and he's like, oh,
So-
like he sounds so innocent and vulnerable.
So
and
like I wonder,
sad.
given the way we interpreted his verse, you know, that it's like him breaking up with an old love and still feeling selfish in this moment to want to spend a day with them. Like, is this him just like telling her like, I know you hate me or might be resentful and we ended badly and I'm being selfish pursuing my dream instead of a relationship, but for one day, can you please stay with me?
Maybe, yeah. I also kind of think of it as like he's like it feels like he's told this person to forget about him because he's broken up with them and he's moved off to be with it, but he doesn't really want that. Like he's doing it because he thinks it's for the best for her and he thinks it's for the best for him, but actually like when you think about it deep down, he really doesn't want that. So he's asking like, please don't forget about me. Like even though I've done all of these things, can you just please stay with me?
Yeah. Oh, the song now is even more poignant than it was before.
I know, it's so sweet and sad and yeah, babies in their little relationships.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, let's end this on that very longing note. And let's go watch something fun.
Yes, let's watch that video.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
네, 안녕하세요. 저희는 상남자로 돌아온 방탄 소년단입니다. 지금부터 멤버들이 각자 기미 할 말이 있다고 하는데요. 한번 들어볼까요? 지시 할 말이 있다고 들었습니다.
예쁜 눈 예쁜 코 겁나게 이뻐잉.
슈가 씨,
내 맘 이제 다 느끼다 난 느낌 모른다.
좋습니다. 점점 격해지는데요. 네, 저의 분노 게이지도 격해지는 것 같습니다. 지민 씨,
니 몇 살이고? 이거 내보다 누나야가 아니라고? 그러면 내가 봐야 돼.
유 씨,
그만 좀 탱기라 근데 주차 보기 좀.
정욱 씨,
가시나야 니 내랑 사귈래?
마지막으로 기대되는데요. 빠빠.
지금 네 마음은 온도보다 허시기 해?
야, 좋습니다. 허석 씨. 아, 저 없이 덕분에 기분이 좋아졌어요.
어떻게 마무리 지어야 되는데 나
자,